Hello, Northstar here with another Mountain Blade Warband Let's Play. A little time has passed, I rested a bit, got a little more food in me. I have to snack light with my long COVID. I get some serious indigestion. Looking here, it looks like Nord in his armor, and I guess the devs of this game do like Nords. That's why they end up doing a Viking conquest Mountain Blade. Here in Voluka, I got messed up by some mountain bandits before, so I lost Ymira. She's off somewhere. Currently in Reyvadin. By the time I get there, she may have randomly appeared somewhere else, but no longer at war with Swedia, so I could just cross right through Swedian lands. Maybe visit these Nordic ones. It's not a bad idea. Whole while I'll be training up my Rodok tribesmen. They have board shields. 4 to 5 health. They may be actually. I don't know. Their armor looks bad. I wonder if they're better than Serenade recruits or Swedian recruits. How the different tier 1 troops compare. Rodok doesn't really do cavalry, so the infantry ought to be better than other nations. Although it could just be the archers. Otherwise, they would just be a strictly militarily weaker nation. This is Voluka. It's famed for its wine. Pick some up. Try and sell it off as I go. Trained crossbow, trained spearmen. Some of the stuff I could look forward to if I train up these tribesmen. Interesting. Stop by Serindiar. I need this time to, wait, stop cutting through the forest. Move faster in open terrain. The game's pathfinding is terrible. Apparently no one bothered to program it in a way that gives reduced costs. The pathfinding algorithms, you would have the computer find the lowest cost between 2 points. Distance be equal cost, but different terrain types can have different costs. It's not hard to do correctly, though it can be computationally expensive unless you create some shortcuts to simple pathfinding. Isn't hard, but incredibly computationally expensive if you just do brute force it. And things that don't brute force it can have some real finesse. But anyways, learned a little bit about what goes into that, because I'm good with math, and I mean far less so now with my long COVID. And it's interesting me to learn a little. Well, it looks like the Swedians got the better of this war, although they didn't take any territory. They managed to raid a bunch of Rodok villages. Saw some Vulcan wine here. There's nothing that they have to sell that's worthwhile, but I can sell the wine. Get some money. I'll stick with my tribesmen because I probably will be returning to Rodok lands eventually. Looks like the borders remained unchanged. Alright, let's visit Uxal. Not worth upgrading those guys until they can all be upgraded. I see the mountains. We must be getting near home. Tell me more. I'm from Call. You know the saying, sir. Barley grown in Call is made into ale and provin. We're all the better for it. Not sure what that it's referring to. Trade, I think. Not sure what that means, sir, but it's true about the barley and wheat and oats. We grow more grain here in the Vale of Uxcal than all the rest of Calradia put together, and our ale is the best too. You can see it in the soil here, rich and black, smells of good harvest, full bellies. The Swadan king will tell you that Provin was the biggest city in Calradia back under the Empire, and that's why he should rule the whole land today. Mind you, I don't care much about politics, sir. I've sold provisions to every army that ever marched in Calradia. Now, I tell you that I wouldn't give a single one of them a single biscuit unless I had the cold hard dinars in my hand first. Why these high and mighty king's nobles can't pay their bills, I'll never know. But I put on a bit there, don't I? Well, because they're spending so darn much on their military, which doesn't even leave them much room to reinvest economically. This call is struggling right now. Interesting. Grain's expensive. It's not cheap. They grow a lot of it. Really? I wouldn't buy the grain at that price. They have some cheap bread, though. I might be able to sell that off elsewhere. The honey isn't a bad price. Though my tribesmen will probably eat a lot of it. Can only eat so much of it. Buy bread, mainly. Maybe that they grow a lot of grain, but they consume most of it to make bread, and they sell off the finished product. That would be smart. Just because I don't like the gaps there. Don't want honey to go with the bread. Guess that depends on distances. The next place. If I stop by Suno, not that many people in my party, but maybe a horse merchant. A lamed hunter. But a normal hunter is not a bad horse. Could recover. They're fast and sumters, so. Yeah, I'll buy some horses and maybe not two, just one. Lamed hunter, and it might eventually recover. Just like the Sumter horse did before. That'd be improvement for the horses. My party might not be better than what I'm currently riding. Well, it's much better than the charge. It's got more hit points, so maybe it would be hunter. But it'll help transport stuff further, so quicker, so I don't have to worry about buying the honey. Let's do it. I'll save a little money in case there's stuff to buy at the next place. 156 dinars. Yeah, so medieval economics is very decentralized, partly because great empires of the past had fallen apart, couldn't keep the countryside safe, so communication over distances was difficult. And feudalism was the result, really, of continuation of the patterns of stratification economically that existed in manhunters. Interesting. Continuation of patterns of highly unequal economies that had existed in the empires before, which were slave economies. Marxists will tell you, and I mean, I suppose I am one, but I sometimes get cynical about certain assumptions. Marxists will tell you that feudalism was an evolution from the slave economies of the past and a step forward, and it was an inevitable next step. And it's true, it was a step forward. Serfdom was better than slavery, but Suno looks rich and well maintained. I can sell the honey for a slight profit. And some of the bread. Some. One loaf. Heavy sumpter horse. It's the use of my companions, but also for freeing up sumpters for I'm starting to think the best defense against brigands is just to be able to outrun them, and then to have a lot of recruits also who can just warm off with numbers. But then you need food to feed them, so you need pack horses. Alayen has a lot of interest in Ymira, so if I get Ymira back in the party, which is what I'm trying to do, I might even call this video the search for Ymira. It'll make Alayen happier, and Ymira actually. I'll have higher morale and be less likely to abandon the party at some point. Get Katrin on a heavy sumpter horse. Stubborn sumpter. It's hard to ride, but it's just actually a tougher horse and hard to lame and such. Good horse if yeah. Saddle horses are faster. Anyways, Count Clargus. I can say hi to him while I'm here. Never hurts to meet people. Oh, he's going that way. Never mind then. I'll visit Rouen. This area is definitely based off of like French naming and French medieval warfare. So the thing I'm cynical about is the more traditional Marxist view that his furs are a bit cheap and the bread's a bit high. So I'll do that. Grain's a bit expensive too. So I'll sell him some grain, some bread, buy some furs. And had to buy the furs so that they'd be able to get the other stuff, sell at a profit. Fur, I expect to roughly recoup the 203 paid for it. Reyvadin's that way. So I guess I should go to Ymira now. Oh, my price is pretty fast, 5.5. Count Regas. Meet him on the road. Do I know you? My name is Northstar, at your service. If you look for a mercenary, well, I was just working as one. He's not wrong. It's me a while till pay Ymira AM back. Like 3,500 dinars just to pay in the taxes owed. Hunt down Putar, Novia, yeah, the southwest corner of Rhodoxia, which is very dangerous near Yellen. So, or at least southwest, the way I've got the map oriented right now. So near Yellen. Oh, that's north. So yeah, it's southwest-ish. I want my troops at least better trained, probably more of them before I go there. Who are the Saranids fighting right now? Bread and olives. Interesting. I'll say hello to this guy. My name is Northstar at your service, sir. Well, you look like a good enough sort. He likes me, probably because of my high enough honor. To show that, that's wrong. 60 honor. I mean, sorry, 10 honor. Sorry, 86 renown, 10 honor. 3 right to rule. How did I get that? I'm not a lord of the Kingdom of Redox. I was just a mercenary for them. I'm not a lord at all. I'm a commoner. Probably just says whoever you worked for last. Visit Scheid. But yeah. Ooh, force bandits. If I want to face them. I could beat them. How do I hear battle? This guy is fighting some force bandits. He might actually lose. Count Rafark. Guess I'll come to his aid. Yeah, but anyways, if I'm trying to multitask, it'll screw me up. So the thing I'm cynical about is the idea that technology had to evolve so much before any kind of socialism was possible. I mean, I think that's a little bit of wanting to portray this way of the future, but you saw small communes, usually of religious nature, even in the Middle Ages, throughout the world. Little Buddhist monasteries, Christian monasteries, a little less common, but in the Christian Buddhist world, you definitely saw it. I think even some Taoist ones. A lot of times around monastic communities, there would evolve communes where the means of production were communally owned, the land and such. It makes sense with Christianity because from its very earliest stages, Jesus preached against greed. He said it's harder for a rich man to fit through the eye of a needle than for harder for a camel to fit through the eye of a needle and for a rich man to enter heaven. Sorry. A horse or something. God, I'm trying to remember the exact phrase. My brain's not recalling. It mixes up words, but you get the idea. It was I'm Christian, so I should remember this, but right now my brain's a little funky. I'm like in a state half awake, half asleep a lot of the time. Even with caffeine. So anyways, probably couldn't have done a centric planned economy with poor lines of communication, but workers' cooperatives are really just an extension of the same idea as small local communes. It's decentralized, so it works in a kind of more medieval time period after the collapse of ancient empires. and with technology advancing, including fortification technology, which is what helped prevent empires from reforming, because castles were harder to conquer than the ancient cities, and so even if someone was ambitious and wanted to rebuild an empire, it was harder to do. Although it was easier to hold together, I suppose, if you could keep your own lords from rebelling. The Byzantines had problems with that, and they tried to build the Roman Empire back up. But uh, but yeah, in this kind of tech level, you could have workers cooperatives. You could have, small villages communally on the land. And in fact, some did in this time period, but it could have been more widespread. And like bakeries and dye works and breweries, just name some of the productive enterprises. This game could have been owned by the workers instead of rich merchants or lords. Workers cooperatives is part of market socialism, where you still have normal market systems for distribution goods, which medieval economies have markets. So does capitalist economies. Markets are not unique to capitalism, but socialized control of the means of production, that is the workshops, the farms, and that would have set the world up for not having capitalism come and create horrible inequality and pollution and all these things with industrial revolution. Probably would have been you would still see industrialization, but it would have been a different pattern development. More use of water power for factories, for instance, which wasn't done because even though it was actually cheaper than coal, it was less exploitable, meaning water is essentially free, but factory owners to use water often end up having to pay communities for it. It wouldn't be provided them for free, even though it was essentially free. Whereas if they burned coal, they didn't have to pay anyone to pollute the air. So, anyways, the simplest form of socialism is workers' cooperatives, and it probably could have been done in the Middle Ages, although more centric plan stuff could not. Alright, they're coming that way. Oh, I see. I'm coming from the north. Sorry, getting some stuff off my glasses for a sec. So, in our modern era, we actually need at least some level of central planning to deal with stuff like climate change, which, if you just leave it up to corporations for profit, they've proven wholly incapable of dealing with that. Like the French idea of diriges may, which can be done under capitalism, socialism, either system. It's compatible with both, but I want to trim this battle size at some point. It's not relevant here, but my computer can handle it, so. People think the world they have is the only way the world could have been. Although games actually do a surprisingly good job of helping people imagine different worlds. Throw javelins into these dense groups of soldiers before, while there's more more arrows around to cause me problems. Sway militia I'll use. Not sure if that's a longbow. God. I hate it because moving my camera screws up. There's gotta be a different control scheme. Because moving my camera will makes my character attack like overhand when I want to attack sideways. It's not great. Jeez, my companions keep getting wounded every battle. I wonder if I'm doing something wrong. If I'm equipping them or using them. I lost 3 tribesmen. That sucks. 2 forest bandits captured. Thanks for your help, stranger. We haven't met properly yet, have we? What is your name? Northstar? Well, met Northstar. I'm Count Rafark. Thank you for your help, and I hope we meet again. I get one of the captives. I can either ransom him off, or I can eventually recruit him. Forest bandit's a decent archer. A little more expensive than ones who are trained from recruits, but saves some money of having to train them. Leather boots, that'll actually be useful for one of my companions. Bunch of bent arrows, but nothing else useful but the leather boots. Definitely useful. Katrin fights melee, so thick nomad boots. No other ones. They're actually the only real difference is stylistic there. Huh. Sorry, I used to nomad boots. Now I'll just wear thicker ones. Cool. Stuff to sell, anyways. And I think I actually have to go around that way because you can go up the cliff on to Berglen. Yeah, for those new to my channel, I apologize. It was a bit of a shock. My mentioning I'm a Marxist, and some people are like, oh, I don't want to listen to him now. Jarl Farn has been indicted for treason. He defected to the Nords. Just out of curiosity. Care gets declared war on purple, on the Cunning, I mean, sorry, the Saranids, and it looks like they've actually lost territory. Samara Castle used to be Saranid land. So it's not going well for the Saranids. Oh, maybe they'll hire me as a mercenary when I return to the lands. For now, in search of Ymira. Alright. Soft stuff with such low sale prices, it's probably worth 1 regardless, where it's not worth the weight of carrying stuff like this around. Hopes of getting slightly more elsewhere. The arrows, on the other hand, I can probably hold on to a little bit till I get to a proper city. Town. Buy some grain and bread. I'll receive 2 dinars. I guess the bent short bow will also be kept. can, but don't realize people. I won't even listen to someone just because, oh my gosh, they have political beliefs have been trained to hate without knowing anything about. I mean, almost most people know nothing about socialism, and they think they know everything about it because they've been propagandized and trained to think they know something about a system. They know nothing. They also get, oh, I know enough about it in this exaggerated, out of context, and sometimes outright falsified series of crimes of socialist countries, all as an excuse to make people hate something that they don't understand. The bread sells well here. Let's definitely sell that. Selling the bent short bow. Can use it to defend themselves. Maybe some of the bent arrows, too. Village of Chide. Talborel. Nords and Vigors made peace. I didn't realize that war. They were, and predictably, the Nords gained territory. They're overpowered, at least in auto-resolve stuff. The Vigors have very good archers, apparently, and cav, but the Nords are just very heavy infantry. They're hard to displace from castles because infantry and castle walls, and in the field they actually do surprisingly well. 37 for fruit. Pork aged and is no longer really profitable. And I might be able to sell this a later city. Fruit, pork. Do you need to get to a city though? Tashdar. Quite quick on Sarai. Problem with fast forwarding is you can get attacked by bandits and such. You might have avoided if you weren't essentially ignoring. Yeah, there's nothing I really want to. I'm running a little on money. I'll sell the arrows. To dream. Flourishing. Migrants even coming here. Ooh, can sell the pork at a profit. Could sell the fruit earlier elsewhere, apparently for better prices, but whatever. The wool, the furs. Buy more grain. It's super, super cheap here. And so buy it I will. And bread. That's very cheap bread. Cabbage. Not looking to profit off of. Cool. So you can see everything at once. I'll receive 221 dinars, a ton of grain, and a ton of bread. The most expensive is 4-1. I can almost certainly sell that all at a profit elsewhere. It's the armor merchant. Solve these nomad boots from here, and by ragging leather gloves. Provides no protection, just adds weight. Why would anyone ever do that? I'm not seeing anything that's super worthwhile. Armor merchant, on the other hand, sometimes has some great propositions. Grab a Vogue if I want a little extra reach. Didn't mind the weight and the inability to use shield. Horseback. Not worth it for a chipped one. 27 for the war spear. That might be worth it for a party member. Instead of a bent one. Yeah. For reference, those are the two pole arms I've currently got, so the balanced pitchfork being better than the war spear because it's lighter, has a longer reach, and actually has a bigger hitbox for, yeah. A long spiked club. It's a polearm, but it probably does blunt damage. You swing around thrust, which is usually better. Interesting. Let's do the war spear. Spears were historically main battle weapons and quite good at you know what, maybe I want to hold on to this for when I find Ymira again. Alright. High damage. Boom. Katrine. Pitchfork. It actually kind of makes sense to the person who's basic quartermaster. I really do wish inventory management were a party skill. So having Katrine around with her high inventory management would give me extra slots. Ooh, the hunter horse is no longer lamed. It's slightly slower than the heavy saddle horse. It's better armored, better charge, more hit points. 2 points of speed. It's worth. I should ride a hunter now. But I can get Alayen off the Sumpter horse onto a saddle, which is much faster. I'll give him more damage bonus when heavy saddle horse is a little easier to kill, but uses the scythe correctly with it. And then shipped bastard sword. I'd be smart enough to use this correctly. Oh, I have this heavy Sumpter horse. Don't have much to do with that other news pack animal. It's too slow. Yeah, the hunter is nice. This thing will make it much more effective charging enemies, and its higher hit points mean I have a much less concern than with the heavy saddle horse. Getting unhorsed. Visit Ushkuru. It's the end of this road, I think. Unbearable poverty. Buy bread for 15 dinars. Wow, they are poor indeed. Ymira. Huh. Our spearmen are ready to... Companions are still wounded from that last battle. Very poor and desolate village here. More grain and more dirt cheap bread. Seems to eat things at the top of the inventory list first. In which case, should put the bread below the grain. Alright, Tadzmethsh. That doesn't sound Swadian. They probably conquered it from someone. Kargits. Sarnids made peace. Kargits now control some Sarnid territory. Oof. So much for acting as a mercenary there to help him reclaim it. Castle doesn't have a lord in it right now. No point in visiting it then. Right, 44, almost 45 minutes here. That's overpriced cheese for sure. To Reyvadin, and hope Ymira is still around. Where are bigger knights, favorite guard? Your marksmen. They have good horse archers as well as good. Their marksmen are pretty good, apparently. All in all, well-balanced armies. My name is Northstar, at your service. Normally I cut the throats of impudent commoners who barge in my presence uninvited, but I'm in a good mood today. The Kargets are at war with the Nords. Just checking what wars there are currently. Kargets and Nords don't even touch each other. How'd that war even be prosecuted? Yeah, because purple and blue. Anyways, Reyvadin seems to be flourishing. But they can buy up all this bread I bought. Or some of it. Wish I'd written down somewhere what I bought and all, but I'm sure it's profit or close enough to all profit. See if they can buy that's likely to be profitable here. I can sell some stuff though. Let's see if Ymira is still in the tavern. Yes, she is. It's good to see you alive, sir. I was wounded and left for dead, and I did not know whether you had been captured or slain or got away. I've been roaming around since then looking for you. Should I get my gear together and rejoin your company? Welcome back, friend. Good. Give me a few moments to prepare. I'll be ready to move. She's with the party yet again. In case only some of these guys can actually be in a fight, I should probably reorder them the opposite way. The companions, most important. Alayen is the best fighter, so I'd want him. Anyways. A watchman there. Tavern keeper and a wandering sheep. Do you have a need for mercenaries, sir? Me and my mates looking for master. 4 of my mates will join you for 235. I've 5 guys for 235? No way. Oh, ransom broker. Yeah. Forest bandit. Ransom that guy off. And I have Ymira back again. Oh, I can give her a heavy sumpter horse this time. So a little less chance of her getting on horse, which was a huge problem. Sumpters are so slow, and really they're just useful that just kind of mounted infantry. They can't really be used very effectively to charge unless you have very high riding skill to get much extra attack damage. So the AI just seems to ride in and just swing wildly. Makes them a little harder to kill the infantry, but not much. And against pole arms, well, they're kind of exposed. Anyways, you can trade off the Shorin Spear for War Spear. Bent War Spear. It's a little slower, but the reach is, and a little less damage, but the reach is higher. Yeah, reach is where it's at. And with enough proficiency, the damage will be such that probably kill enemies in the same number of hits most of the time, but mostly just reach. Reach is king. Sheamus has yet to gain any proficiency in. Is he actually using his bow? I have to see what he's doing in a fight. He seems to keep getting wounded, but not getting any proficiencies. I mean, none. This guy's not even attacking. Have to watch him in the next fight. Short Spear is definitely not a bad weapon. It's just, well, short. Anyways, sell it off. 12 dinars. What would it cost if I ever need to buy another? 95, yeah, it's not even that expensive. Someday I'll get a longbow. The advantage of it is high power draw. Means you can use up to 7 power draw skill to buff your damage. Higher base damage helps a little, but the real advantage of like longbow is the higher power draw requirement. Oof. Thick steel shields. Massed military creepers. Tempered two-handed sabers. Some of this stuff is nuts, but a white lance isn't cracked. Ooh, I can afford it too. In fact, this will allow me to give Alayen a lance instead of a scythe. He's actually going to mount it. It's fast enough. He might be able to. I want to give him the cracked one though. AI uses. But yeah, I'll take the non-cracked lance. Self. So I've got javelins, light lance, rusty heavy bastard sword. Clethy can use the scythe. It's got more reach, and swinging is more reliable than thrusting because it can be from more different directions. It's got more versatility. It's easier to get it under a shield or such too. Scythe may not cost much, but it's an excellent weapon. War Spear, it's faster than a pitchfork, even if it's faster and higher damage, even if it's got a smaller hitbox to hit. Of course, Bounce Pitchfork is still a pretty good weapon. Oh. Okay, Bent War Spear. The Bounce Pitchfork. Longer reach, higher damage. Or wait. Guess this War Spear I'm gonna end up selling off too. Cool. Some of these things show up on the character's back, some don't. Like he's got the light lance, but doesn't show on his back. It is Ymira's pitchfork. Anyways. Guess I'll solve the War Spear. And 63. That's not a particularly expensive thing to buy more of in the future. Well, maybe the Nords will hire me as a mercenary. Against the Kargets I don't intend to actually probably fight, but no, I want to pass through Karget lands to serenade ones, won't I? Alright, let's see if the Kargets will hire me then. I think about it. So Tebandra to Karget lands. Some places will pay enough for wool for that to be a profitable sell. The bread's a little overpriced. So sell a couple bread, buy some wool. Reduce my overall weight. You know what? Only 2. It's not worth having so few. Try and get some Karget recruits. I'm gonna spend all in their territory. Which should we pour a little place here? Try meat for 57. That's not bad. I could sell them some bread. Tashkulin. deserters running from hunters. Actually, that makes sense. I could probably get involved. It's worth noting, Kergits with their horse archers. I don't know what tier they are, but I think they're relatively low tier. Getting horsemen at low tier is one of the reasons I want Kergit recruits. Well, that's a lot of manhunters. Pretty sure I cannot catch up to the... Yeah. Too fast. Richly poor. Little village. Sell stuff, but they don't have the money to buy it. I'll recruit some volunteers. 3 Kergit tribesmen who upgrade into skirmishers. So the horse archers is probably a 3rd tier unit. A little bit of investment, but eventually I'll have them. Looks like they carry a bow even at the 1st tier though, and a spear. It's not a bad equipment setup. The highest proficiencies, but stronger than same HP though. Oh, because the Red tribesmen have iron flesh. Level of riding? There's no horse. Whatever. See if this castle has a lord I could offer to be a mercenary too. Nope. No lord is in. Ah, that didn't go well. I was trying to navigate around the edge of the forest. Another ritually poor area. They have a little more money though. Buy more tribesmen. They'll keep bandits off me. And Nara. Pacific gear. There is a lord in the castle of this city, so let's go price in the wool and the dry meat. Not so much on the bread. I'm lucky. Miss Northstar at your service. Always check to see if there's relatives need rescuing or such. Here we go. Miss Northstar at your service, sir. I'm Hiku Alayen, vassal of the Carrot Kane and the Lord of Zagush. Bazin Nara. Well, you look like a good enough sort. I guess he's honorable. Because I'm honorable. What is it? you have any tasks? Nope. How goes the war? No clear winner has yet emerged. The Khan fails and must pursue a little longer. So he's near Kira. There's Dock Castle. Just getting a sense if there are lords nearby. Ymira. Kira's there, so they are on the offensive. That is Una's duck. Oh, so there's someone over, yeah, here. So visit Loom. Oh no, it's been looted. Let's go to Hallmar then. And fish me in this castle. I might, lucky, find someone who'll hire me as a mercenary before the war is over. Hallmar is opulent and crowded with well-to-do people. Wall streets and homes are well maintained. Markets are thronged with migrants in nearby regions, drawn here by the availability of both goods and work. Throw them hammers and looms speaks to business artisans' workshops. Cheap pottery. You can often sell the bread a little more. So, bread, pottery. Pottery's heavy, but maybe I don't buy quite that much because it's so heavy. It's hard to find people, but yeah. 6 units of pottery. Well, that won't leave me with much money to buy other stuff opportunistically. There we go. So if I can sell for at least 70, it's profitable. No, we're in the castle there. Actually, a poor area. It's cheap bread though. Poor areas often sell stuff cheaply. They have some money. It's nothing that's profitable. Sell them though. Recruit a couple tribesmen. Escape the poverty. It's time I upgrade Rodok Spearmen so that they can start gaining experience at its next level. Train Spearmen. I'll end up having 14 trained spearmen, which can be a decent battle line against cavalry. Out there to avoid the forest. Huh. He's too fast. Well, he might come back this way. Or him. I don't care, just talk to me. It's Northstar at your service, sir. I want to deliver a letter to the Nords. Yeah, I don't really want to go that way. Sorry, Dad will be seeing him soon. Doesn't have any other jobs. See the guy who was in the... Nope, there's a different guy in the castle. Push the gates, hail the guard. Press entry, go to the Lord's Hall. Ah, she's a young lady instead of... Oh, 49. Okay, not so young. She just looks younger. My name is Northstar, at your service. She's, yeah, his wife. My name is Northstar, at your service. Peace to you, and always remember to temper your vow with mercy. Your courage with honor. Yeah, so he's quite an honorable man, I think. Another letter to the Nords. Ah. Why does everyone want to send a letter to this Jarl? Sorry, but I'm not going that way anytime soon. I am going to go to the Rodok lands soon. Buy some grain here. Some product, but they don't have the money for it. Or even for the bread. Shoot. Some partially eaten bread. Slight profit actually given. Anyways. I miscalculated. Yeah, they were able to pay full price for that small amount of bread. Right, 11 Karga tribesmen will eventually become horse archers to support my main battle line. But I was going to work my way towards Yellen because I have 2 quests that way. And Elvia, the bandits, although I'll probably need more warriors. I think I can pass through there. It's been a while since I've been to Serenade Lands. Oh, Kargets. There's Northstar at your service. He's dishonorable. Dislikes me. Meet again. Yep. They gave charity to my tenants in the village of Ain Asadi. Times are hard. I know you mean well, but try not to make a habit of it. I'm the lord and protector. I'd rather not have them go looking to strangers for assistance. Ah, flax, dates, and pork, actually. Some bread. Good price. Pottery. I've been better off selling the pottery because of the weight. Cool. Should buy a chicken. Or sell more pottery. So I need recruits. We'll just end up making more footmen. To complement the Rhodoc spearmen, basically. Get more grain. Get more chicken. Sell off some pottery. Oh, I don't have 13 dinars. Do I? Oh, never mind the grain. Means I only essentially got 70 for the pottery, but Cherries. Salt the chicken and pork. I'm sure I'll find somewhere it's a better place for the grain later. Buy dates. Must always sell for profit outside of. Is there need lands? There food that grows well where you can grow palms. Just visit the lord of the castle, see if he's got any quests. It's Northstar. I'm at your service. I heard you gave Cherry my tents in the village of Debane. Times are hard. I know you mean well. You may help. Oh, yeah. There's the Merchant of Cherise. It's been a while, but should take care of this quest thing. Next video, though. Then to Rodok Lands, clean up some bandits and a murder. I hope you folks enjoyed this video. Take care of each other. Be kind to yourselves. May you always find a guiding star to lead you home. Till next time, this Northstar. Adieu, and best luck.